Good day, everyone. Today on the bench I'm going to tie you up a gold rib hares here. I'm just going to change out one of the old materials for a new material that we have out. A lot of new synthetics out these days, so I've just modified it a little bit, but it's a great little pattern. It's been around for a long time and put a lot of fish in the net for a lot of different anglers on rivers, lakes, streams, wherever. Let's go over the materials we need to tie the fly. I'm going to be using a Gamakatsu size 12 nymph hook. It's a 2x long nymph. We're going to be using some, what do we got? Semperfli Nano Silk copper color. It's 12 watt. We're going to be using some lead wire 015 for the thorax. The rib, instead of the gold rib, I'm going to swap that out for a micro glint tinsel. It's a medium olive. It's got a nice hue to it. It's going to pick up some nice coloration in the water. And the body, the thorax, we're going to be using a hare's mask. We get all the nice different hairs, natural hair in the hare's mask. That's where you find them. And the wing case, I'm going to be using some turkey quill. So we'll just get on here with it. Let's get our hook in the vise and get started. Now this one, you might see a lot of the patterns here and there, or wherever you see hare's ears tied with other materials. This is basically the way it was originally done. This fly is well over 100 years old. Of course, back then they had very limited. It was all natural materials, and for the most part anyway, they had the odd little thing they could add, but these old patterns still work quite well. Okay, so let's go into the, now we'll put some lead wire on here for starters. Just coat the shank with my thread. I'm going to give about 10 turns of this 015 lead wire right at the thorax. There we go. The tail, I'll just come in, we'll grab some of these nice barred guard hairs down at the bottom here. Take a clip right close to the skin. And you'll see it's got some black barred tips. Keep it by the tips there, just pull out your underfur and keep that underfur for dubbing. And I'll just tie that right in at the rear. Come in behind. That just kind of keeps the tail sitting right where it should be, right at the tie-in point. Got a nice little tail there. Bring in some of this micro glint from Semperfli. Nice little material. It's very thin, but I like the effect on this. It's really good in the water. When I come back to the rear now, just take a half hitch. I'm going to use my rotary vise here for the dubbing. You can use you can dub it on by hand, but what I like to do is keep my flies as buggy as possible. I like these natural fibers, these natural hairs coming out. Gives it so much more life in the water. And we're just going to put a thin body on. Use a dubbing loop if you don't have a rotary vise like this. And it's worth a little extra time. I'm just going to come forward. We're going to get a bit of a taper on this body here. I'm coming right to the tie-off part by the thorax. We can stop right there. See any hair that's loose, I pull it off that time. And I'm going to take some tight turns with fairly close wraps with my micro glint. I'm going to get a really nice effect on the body there. A lot, it's speckled and it's going to Be a little nicer than the gold rib. And you still have those guard hairs coming out to give it a nice gill-like appearance and kind of basically imitate the gills. Your nymph. Come in here to your, take a slip of turkey. Take that off for the shell back. Tie that in dull side up. Oh, excuse me, we've got to back up just 1 second here. I'm going to add some microglint to the top. I'm going to take two, just double it over so we have 2 strands. And then we'll put in the turkey quill segment on top. Just lay it in, make sure it's tied down good. This is only 12/0, this Semperfli thread. Very strong. A little slippery, so you gotta watch. You might have to put some wax on there if you're having trouble with it sticking to your, getting your dubbing loops done. Rotary vices work like a spinning wheel, and you can really get such a nice job of buggy dubbing done. Now when I wrap forward, I'm just going to make sure that those fibers are wanting to lay back. I just preen them back when I'm going. Just take a little time with that. It's going to imitate your legs. And I can get my thread base started behind the eye. Don't crowd your eye. Grab the turkey quill segment over the top. Come down right behind the eye. That's probably one of the first flies you ever learn to tie. Is a gold rib hairs here. It'd be definitely one of them. And I come over with the 2 strands of the microglint. And I'll just get my head done here with this copper colored thread. Give it about 5 or 6 turns. Give it a pretty good wrap there with my whip finish. I like to finish my flies with Solrez. Just going to bring that wing case down just so I can coat that microglint. It's just going to show up. It's not going to be overwhelming. Some of these flies I can show you when I've done with flat braid, just to show you how some of that patterns can actually get too much flash and synthetics, so they overtake the pattern. I'll just show you a couple examples here. Here's one with kind of a gold braid, flat braid. It looks really nice, but I think it's a little too much. Here's some here I did with some olive or peacock. Might be fine with an olive pattern, but I just get a little too thick and a little too much flash. I like it a little more natural, and you got enough flash in there, and that microglint doesn't have to take a lot for the reflective qualities of that material to really become a good nymph. So there it is, just a little tricked out version of a hare's ear nymph, one of the most of our staple flies we'd have in our box. It's definitely put a lot of good fish in the net for so many anglers over the years. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you again real soon on Sports Fishing on the Fly. Thanks for watching.